As mentioned in a previous video, I had a conversation with a speedrunner. Wasn't sure if they wanted to be named, so I left them as anonymous speedrunner. And we were talking about the applications of Eclipse protocol, what's best for it, how it works, etc, etc. This person, who has my humble thanks because they have just done so much legwork and has made my life so much easier. So Sishu, if you are watching this, you are an absolute hero. In short, what Sishu has done and sent me and given me permission to use this footage, this is Sishu's footage, is they have basically compiled as many Eclipse protocol build setups that they can think of, from using Wyvern, Golan. At one point they're even using Creeping Death just to test and show across the board. So I'm hoping this will show irrefutable proof of the simple fact that Creeping Death on an Eclipse build, especially if you are doing it for the purpose of killing things, such as floor 10, is a straight up nerf. Not to shock or surprise anyone, but you literally drop about 100 to 150k per tick, by the way. So the first build that they were running, where I was jabbering on, was 4-piece Eclipse, Vial, and then Golan knees with status effect and skill damage, using Everlasting Gaze to increase the status effect ticks by 50% and the duration. They were averaging 413,000 per tick. They then swapped to Test Subject, where they averaged 339,000 per tick. This is with perfect in sync on Test Subject. For this run, we're up to date now, we're current, we're in the times. This is 4-piece Eclipse Protocol with Vial Mask, Everlasting Gaze, but the holster is Wyvern wear with skill damage and status effects. And their average tick is 423,000. So far, the Wyvernware holster is in the lead. However, although it is slightly more damage, you are sacrificing 10% status effect. Status effects not only increases the amount of damage each tick will do, but it also increases the amount of duration. So it's arguable as to which one is actually better, using Wyvernware, which is probably easier to farm, or Golan, simply because Golan will last an extra second or two, which means you'll get an extra tick or two. So a lot of people would say that Golan would be better than Wyvern because you are getting that extra second or two worth of ticks, but Wyvern will kill quicker. This is the exact same setup as the previous one. The only change is, rather than using Everlasting Gaze, they're now using Test Subject. This drops the average tick by a measly 2,000 damage. We're now at 421,000. So yeah, read into that what you will. The reason as well that you see Sishu using Sweet Dreams is Sweet Dreams has two applications for this. One, the melee hit, so just in case your target, a red or purple, doesn't die, you can melee hit to get the kill to spread, as well as the fact that the chem launcher as well as the fire burn sticky will take effect from the damage to armor and the damage to targets out of cover on the weapon. So that is why you see them using Sweet Dreams. Now for the moment that you've all been waiting for, Creeping Death. Oh god, this is going to be funny. Oh, guarantee someone's still going to argue. Saying that, I will bend the knee slightly and say that if you're running in a group and you're using it as a foam CC build only, I will state that Creeping Death potentially will be better, simply because you're able to CC that initial CC hit over a larger distance. Right. Average damage now is like 330,000. We've basically dropped near enough 100k. And the procs from Vile Mask have dropped considerably. Overall damage loss is like 158,000 per tick, including the burn and Vile. So, yeah, it's not more damage. Oh, and because Creeping Death interrupted the Eclipse spread, that guy's still alive. Please tell me how Creeping Death is worthwhile on Eclipse. If you're solo and trying to do damage, it's not worth it. In a group and trying to do damage, it's not worth it. I don't know what else people need. He's gone down to 226k a tick. He's nearly dropped 200,000 damage. And now, because the Eclipse protocol has been interrupted by Creeping Death, he's dead! Bloody dead! So now he's got to do it again. Again, Sishu, thank you so much for this footage. You're an absolute legend. Sadly, Sishu does not have a YouTube channel or a Twitch that I can point you towards. All I can say is, if you see Sishu in one of your games, in Countdown maybe, just thank them, tell them they're a legend, because they absolutely are. They are doing some hardcore myth busting today, and for me at least it's worthwhile, because we can actually get to the bottom of it with actual video evidence and proof. And then what makes me laugh is I see things like this. Now, I was typically content with calling these people the usual suspects, but as of late, with the amount of dumb coming out of them, I'm just dumbfounded as to how they're popular, with the amount of clickbait, absolute trash, nonsense crap that they post. I've got so much work to do to try and actually put people back on the right track so this game can actually progress. But there are absolute mongoloids holding it back by giving you guys the incorrect information on repeat. And they don't care. Anyway, the final test Sishu is trying to do is test Creeping Death with test subject, but as we have seen, test subject is just ever so slightly worse off than Everlasting Gaze for this matter. The one thing Sishu didn't test is Capacitor. To put that into perspective, Capacitor at max stack will give you 10% more damage per tick, but you won't get the 50% increase. If you're able to proc Everlasting Gaze, that is your best option. If you are not, Capacitor is a useful second. If not, using Sweet Dreams as Sishu is. Once again, Sishu, huge thanks. You are amazing. And I'm hoping people will now stop complaining and crying about it, okay? Kamikaze Gondoom is bloody wrong. Creeping Death is trash on an Eclipse build, unless you're running foam. I'll take that bit. Good luck, have fun, don't die. It's bad for the health.